Washed Up Sports Podcast.
Washed Up Sports Podcast. Washed Up Sports Podcast. What's going on? 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 What's going on, guys?
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a Washed Up Sports Podcast. This is episode 37. My name is Evan Klein, and I'm glad to be joined alongside my co-host, Max Lindley.
What's going on, guys? As we said last week, we are virtual. Evan's in Buffalo. I'm in New Jersey still. It's weird. I got to admit, it's been weird. I haven't seen Evan in a couple days. Just talked to him for the first time on video a couple minutes ago. It's been wild. It's been wild, but we
are here. We're better than ever, and we're here.
Yeah, we're live. We're adjusting, and the show must go on, as all the other shows must go on too that are coming soon. So stay tuned later for all of those teases.
Yeah.
So before we get into the episode, and we have a great one for you guys today. Great interview with Owen Corry coming probably 15-20 minutes for you guys. Let's get into some ads. If you don't want to hear any ads, go subscribe on Patreon. That's where you have access to ad-free videos, as I just said. Early access. You're going to have early access to all the other podcasts, guests, ton of other perks.
For a measly $2 a month.
Measly $2. So here's a word from our sponsors. If you don't want to hear it, go subscribe on Patreon.
Today's episode is brought to you by the Daily Scoop. Daily Scoop is the premier dog walking and pet sitting service in Bergen County, located in Glen Rock. Daily Scoop provides service not only to Glen Rock, but to several surrounding towns as well. They ensure that you are getting the best possible care for your pets while you cannot be with them. From the simple dog walk to daycare, at the Daily Scoop, they have you covered. And if you need to leave town to visit your family or friends for the weekend, have no fear. Daily Scoop offers pet sitting services as well. Inquire for more at www.thedailyscoop.com. That's scoop with a K at www.thedailyscoop.com. Here's Max with their Instagram.
Daily Scoop LLC. Check them out. Scoop with a K.
Today's episode is in partnership with the Retro Recovery. Retro Recovery is New Jersey's #1 source for vintage clothing and 90s nostalgia. From vintage football jerseys and starter jackets for the draft to vintage baseball tees and caps for opening day, the Retro Recovery has you covered. Get you swagged out. And free shipping is offered nationwide.
Hell yeah.
Woo! Shop the spring collection now at theretrorecovery.com. And if you want to save a buck, use code WASHEDUP, that's WASHEDUP, for 10% off of your order. That's code WASHEDUP at theretrorecovery.com for 10% off your order. Get your gear now.
Okay, Ev, this week, we said it a couple weeks ago. We didn't really fulfill on our promise. We only talked about the NFL a bit. So let's really get into the NFL this week.
I'm locked and loaded on the NFL. It's starting to set in. I'm
laser
starting to
pointed.
We've got fantasy drafts coming up. We've got, the heart of preseason right now. So I'm locked and loaded on NFL right now for sure.
Before we get started, I think you forgot to tell the people what we are.
We're an authentic sports commentary from the perspective of two washed up athletes.
Yes, we are. That is true. All is true.
All is correct.
All is correct. All is true and factual. But Ev, before we get into the NFL, how many fantasy leagues you in?
I believe I'm in 4 this year.
Me too. This is my first year in more than 2.
Yeah, I'm actually in 1 league with my 2 roommates, but we all are co-owning 1 team. It's like a big buy-in. So we have to so we're all splitting the buy-in and like 3-man co-owning a team, which I've never done before. I've never co-owned a team with other people.
Yeah, so I actually co-own a team with 2 teams with my dad every year, so I'm pretty used to it. Okay. You got it. You definitely got it. It's good. We won last year. We came in second the year before. The year before that, we came in 3rd and 4th in the 2 leagues respectively. Like, it's been good. You just have to be able to trust your other partner.
True.
And have someone who is willing, or all 3 who are willing to do the research.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
I'm excited though because we're in a league together this year for the first time.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Not happening. We will update everyone when we play. What week that is.
That's gonna be fun, actually.
It's gonna be so much fun.
For the sake of the podcast.
It's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll get to that. But
imagine if we played in the championship.
Dude, let's manifest it.
Dude, that would
Let's
be
manifest
like
it.
the ultimate content boost.
Yeah. We could go live for the Sunday slate. Just worried about fantasy points. That'd be funny.
Oh wow.
All right,
So
Ev, you wanna break down the NFL?
yeah, so as of Tuesday, August 24th, Travis Etienne likely out for the season with a tear in his foot. And I'm heartbroken, honestly.
Absolutely, dude. He was gonna be so good. He looked so
Dude,
good in preseason.
the Clemson duo, Trevor with Travis, then James Robinson in that backfield too. I thought people were counting the Jags out already because they're like not that high on T-Law, but like, bro, I like ETN a lot, and I'm just sad about it, and I it sucks it's his rookie year too. So
Yeah, it
speedy
does
recovery. I hope he's likely out for the season, but if there's any miracle we could see him at all this year, I would love that.
Yeah, that'd be great. It's always sad to see someone go down, especially before they even play a regular season game. You never want to see that someone get hurt in preseason or practice. Like you'd never want to see someone get hurt, but if someone is going to get hurt, you want it to be in a game that matters, not the preseason.
That's right.
Yeah. So wishing him a speedy ass recovery for a shitty ass injury.
Yeah. So, what do you think this means for the Jags? And, how many games do you think the Jags are going to win this year, Max?
I mean, as you mentioned before, they still have Robinson, who is a beast in the backfield. So
I'm a big DJ Chark guy.
Yeah, you are?
Yeah, I really like him. I think he's very talented.
Yeah. They have a good backfield still. The offensive line is okay.
Mm-hmm.
T-Law looks good. The defense is still a pretty formidable defense. I don't know.
Yeah, he had a tough game against the Saints last night in the preseason. Not great protection, and was kind of forced into making some tough passes. But I'm optimistic. I am.
Yeah. No, and there's no reason not to be. As we said, it's preseason football. I would just say
give the kid a chance. It's his second time on an NFL field, third time.
I would just say that when we're talking the Jaguars, we got to put into perspective what division they're in. Like I've already told you this. I think the Titans are going to the Super Bowl. We talked about that a month ago, and I said that. And I think I'm gonna stand by that the whole season.
Okay.
Until they prove me wrong, until some other team is like their roster, or they make a move, or something happens that makes me believe that the Titans aren't going to the Super Bowl. I'm gonna stick by that. So just based off the division they're in, they got the Colts, who not a bad team still. Like Titans. It's not an easy division.
No, yeah, the Titans, good defense, good, really high-powered offense, great offensive line. One thing about the Titans is I would tell people I don't know if we're gonna see if this Julio is gonna be the Julio of old.
I don't know. I'm
not saying he's not. I don't know.
Yeah, what I suspect is more that I think it will be Julio is more the 2 receiver, and you have AJ Brown as the 1.
Yeah,
and I think that would suit Julio. Not saying he's a number 2 receiver, but in an offense, being able to get the coverage of a number 2 receiver is insane.
Who else are they throwing to? Because at that point of view of AJ Brown and Julio, does it even matter? Or
I'm trying to remember. Let me look up the roster. I'm more curious. Nobody
crazy because they lost Corey Davis.
Yeah. 1 second.
Titans. Yeah, I'm looking right now. There's really no one else that they're throwing to. And then
Des Fitzpatrick, Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, who are these people?
Mason Kinsey. So yeah, it seems like Marcus Johnson. It seems like
they have no tight end either.
Yeah, it seems like they're really banking on Julio Jones, AJ Brown, and then obviously you have Derrick Henry, the tank,
yeah, of course,
in the backfield. So
yeah, Jeff Swaim is their starting tight end. I mean, come on, guys, let's get a tight end.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they went out and tried to make a trade or sign some other tight end just for some depth before the season starts.
Yeah, no, I could see that as well.
But their linebackers are great. They've got a great defense. Their offense is great. I think the Titans are have it. But we'll get to that later. We're gonna make some picks for each division in a little bit. Before that, you wanted to talk about Winston and Taysom Hill and the Saints, and that quarterback competition, that quarterback competition down there.
Yeah, I really did want to talk about that. I'm all in on Jameis Winston, honestly, this year, because I know some people like Taysom, but yeah, he's very athletic, can do a lot of different things well. Taysom Hill can, but I think his place in that offense is not at starting quarterback. I think there's a place for him, but I don't think it's at starting quarterback. I think Jameis Winston is the better pure quarterback. He throws a lot of interceptions in the past, but he also throws a ton of touchdowns. He seems like he has good awareness, and I really like Jameis Winston coming up this year. He's only 27. He is only 27. He can do some things, I think, this year. Showed out in the preseason game last night, throwing 2 unbelievable passes to Marquez Callaway. I am in on Winston. I'm not counting the Saints out of this season yet, especially if Michael Thomas comes back nicely. I don't know. I'm with Jameis Winston this year. I don't know. I just think, especially over Taysom Hill, I like that. How are you feeling about it, Max?
I have 1 point I'd like to highlight of yours, and then 1 point I'd like to make of my own. So first, what you said that is really important is Jameis is only 27 years old. He's 27. Yeah. Think about how young that is for an NFL quarterback.
I know.
Think about it. He could, if he has a good year, he can turn into a franchise guy. So just the upside of Jameis Winston is ridiculous.
Yeah. I think honestly, not that, of course, the Buccaneers getting Tom Brady was a great thing for them, but I think they should have kept him, and if they were getting Tom Brady, but if not, I think they moved on from him quite quickly. Like they kept him on a pretty short leash in terms of just like being a captain to just like, see you later.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong with that. The other point I'd like to make is Jameis got his eyes fixed this offseason. He got LASIK, if you don't remember. So
that was big.
Apparently before that, he had a lot of trouble on the field seeing. So that's huge. That's absolutely huge to
who knows if that was why he was throwing interceptions. It might have been.
Maybe. You can never say, really.
Right.
But you can say it probably contributed to it. You could probably say it's a factor. So yeah, you make some really good points. I think I agree with you. Jameis is the guy there. I don't think you want to put the ball in Taysom Hill's hands in those tight situations. I think you're going to want Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
And good for Jameis too, dude. Love him. Eat some W's, man.
Yeah. I agree. I agree 100%.
Glad we're in consensus.
Absolutely. So Max and I are going to, do division winners now. We're going to go through every division and pick a winner, maybe briefly talk about some of those teams. But I would like to announce at this point in your program that Pick'em will be back this season in the coming weeks, and it's supposed to heat up. I am 1-0 against Max in Pick'em, and
all time. Last season, you won last season.
I won the season, so I can't wait to do it and put another wager on the line. Scroll up our YouTube and find that episode where Max was in an Oscar the Grouch costume, because it's
a good one. I believe it's episode 18.
If it is actually episode 18, I am genuinely impressed if it was episode 18.
I'll check right now,
because that shit was hilarious.
Playlists. Where are we going? Got it. Episode. No, I was 2 off. It was episode 20.
Damn.
I was close.
You were. I'm impressed. I wouldn't have been able to even put on a guess.
Yeah. No, I was close. But yeah, it was episode 20. Go back, watch that. It's pretty funny. Hopefully I'll be able to turn it around and get Evan into a some sort of costume or a different type of wager. We'll have to see.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Will. So how about, are you good to start off with the AFC? Let's go east, west, north, south.
Sure. And then we'll just go in order.
West, north, south. Okay, so let's start off with AFC East.
By far one of the better divisions in the AFC.
Yep. So we got Bills, Dolphins, Pats, Jets, who are all competitive except for the Jets. I'm not going to say that right
now. you got to expect the Jets are going to continue with their ways at this point. They haven't shown anything that they're going to take a huge step.
Yeah, Zach Wilson has looked all right, but
even if he looked elite, like, what did they do to support him? They didn't build a championship team around him. So
as Max and I like to call him, the guy on the cover of the middle school math textbook.
Yeah, go watch our Washed Up Not a Sports podcast for that one.
That shit was funny.
We'll link that up there in the card if you want to watch it on YouTube.
Yeah. So in this division, I'm gonna go completely non-biased. I think the Bills are gonna win. I think the Patriots are gonna come in second and have a wild card spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my prediction of the season. But we're just doing winners right now. So the Bills are gonna win the division. I just had to say that about the Patriots.
No, yeah, honestly, and I hate to be the biased sports fan, and I'm trying to not be biased, but I don't see the Bills winning the division again this year.
It's a hot take.
I guess it's a hot take, but like, it's really hard to win back to back, especially a division. And I know I'm saying that as the Patriots did it for like 14 years straight or whatever.
I think the Bills, just like from a roster standpoint, they just have the best team in the division. I think.
Yeah, no, I don't.
They have a
I
better
don't
team
disagree.
than the Patriots.
I don't disagree. I don't know. I'm more up in the air, but I don't think the Patriots would be the winner. I think the Dolphins would probably be my second pick if it were
I don't know
the
about
Bills
that.
or the Dolphins.
Don't
count
know
out the
about
Dolphins, but I'll probably stick with you on the Bills for now. But I do want to say it's a lot closer than everybody thinks. I don't think the Bills are that much better than everybody else.
Okay, I think it's a hot take where you're going with that, but
it's fine.
But I like it. That's what we need, you know.
Yeah.
So let's go with the West. I think it's a shoe-in for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah. If we're talking who's got a shot at wild card, I think the Raiders have the best shot out of those teams.
The Chargers aren't
Chargers
bad.
too. Yeah.
I like Justin Herbert a lot. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you got to expect he's going to take some good leaps this year. After a full offseason under his belt. Yeah. So that's the West. I think we're consensus Chiefs. Broncos. I'd like to say the Broncos are probably going to lose that division. I'll just call that now. I think the Broncos are going to be dead last in that division.
1,000%. Maybe bottom 3 in the AFC.
Maybe bottom in the NFL. What have they done to show us that they're going to be great this year?
The Texans. I think the Texans might not win a game.
It's possible.
If Deshaun Watson's not playing, I don't think they're going to win a game.
It's very possible. But I mean, I feel like the same could be said about the Broncos.
No,
I don't know.
It could be.
I don't know. We're predicting stuff way too early.
Yeah. So the North, I'm going to go with
I think the Browns are taking the North, if I'm being honest. I don't think that's a hot take.
I'm going to go with the Ravens.
Not a bad pick, man. I just think the Browns are coming together. Dude, they get OBJ back last year. Think about how lethal they were without OBJ last year.
No, I know. We could see 3 AFC North teams in the playoffs again.
Yes, we absolutely could. It
was fun last year. Seeing the Browns and Steelers play 3 times and the Browns take them down in the playoffs like that.
Yeah.
That
was fun.
In Baker we trust, you know.
In Baker we trust. Let Baker bake.
But I'm just too big of a Lamar guy to take the Ravens right here. I think he's so good.
Which is understandable.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then let's move on to the South.
We both got Titans.
Yep. I'm there.
It's easy.
Yeah.
And then into
NFC.
the NFC East, which is a little more. The NFC gets a little more, maybe a little more controversial. I don't know.
I wouldn't say controversial. I just think there's more disparity between the teams.
Yeah.
Whereas like in the AFC, sometimes like we said, the AFC North, like we could definitely see 3 teams from the AFC North in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know. But hey, you never know. We could say that about the AFC West too. Let's get into it.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Eagles.
I don't know. It's such a toss up always, and I hate putting my faith.
The NFC least, as we like to call it.
Absolutely. I mean, I hate putting my faith into the Eagles organization. You know what I mean? What have they done over the past couple of years? Of recent, but I'm talking about after that. Like since they haven't looked like the same team even closely.
Coming up short in the playoffs like that. A lot,
bad regular seasons, injuries. So I don't know. I can't pick Cowboys. Definitely can't pick Giants. The Giants have shown me not a lot that they're going to be elite this year. And
they've showed me that their own team is getting in fights with each other, and then Sterling
retiring
Shepard
left and right.
And then Sterling Shepard just gets into a fist fight against someone in practice last week.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna go Washington football team.
I don't mind that.
Their defense is elite.
Don't mind it.
And you know what, Evan? Want to know what they say?
It is elite.
Defense wins games. Defense wins championships.
Yeah, no, I know. Chase Young is like my favorite person ever.
Oh my God, he's elite. Elite.
He's so good.
You look up elite in a dictionary, and it's gonna say Chase Young.
Yeah, right.
All right, so let's get into the NFC East. Let's get into the NFC West, which is like one of those divisions that, like, it's a toss-up. There's 3 teams that can make the freaking wild card. You know, like,
I know
that'd be ridiculous, but
it would.
The Cardinals haven't made any moves that would be like, oh no, they're gonna be worse next year. Same with the Rams. I mean, they picked up freaking Matt Stafford, who I think has a huge chance of having a lot of success in Los Angeles.
Agreed.
The 49ers haven't changed one bit, dude. They're bringing back
except
Kittle.
for Trey Lance.
But I don't think he's starting this year.
No,
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think
Debo. I think Debo's gonna have a good year.
Yep, Debo Samuel.
A little comeback year for Debo Samuel.
Yeah.
And they have a good little running back room.
Who's Who's that new wide receiver they have? Brandon Ayuk. He's going to be set up for a great year.
Pin that. A great follow-up to his great performance last year.
Yeah, absolutely. He had a great year last year.
Mm-hmm.
But Seahawks looking good too. I mean, if I had to pick one that I wouldn't want to pick right now, it would be the Seahawks out of these 4. But I'll probably have to go with the Cardinals, because I think they're going to put together a really good season next year, be able to get the job done and get that division spot. Kyler in his 3rd year, I think he'll have success.
It's a good pick. I do want to mention about the 49ers. Actually, they did draft Trey Sermon from Ohio State, who I think is a great running back addition. I think him and Mostert is such a good duo. It's a monster right there.
Yeah, it's a nice tandem in the backfield.
Two-headed monster.
Yeah.
As they call it. So look out for Trey Sermon. I'm going with I could like spin a wheel and just like choose. I'm gonna take the Rams.
Okay.
I was really close to saying Cardinals, Seahawks. Like, it was really whichever one just like came out of my mouth first.
Yeah, I hear that. It's a toss up. It is. NFC North, Evan. Where are you feeling on this one?
Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think anybody is set to have a great year besides them.
Yeah, neither do I. I think the Vikings could be okay.
Yeah. NFC South, though. That's another one that there's some good teams.
Yeah, I'm going Buccaneers all the way.
Yeah. I think the Saints could throw together some games too, as we were saying earlier, but I think it's a smart pick to stick with the Panthers.
The Panthers have too much of a quarterback problem. And then I think the Falcons will be like a mid-tier team, like maybe like 7 or 8 wins.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
I'll give them 8 wins.
Yeah, we'll have to see for sure. Sam Darnold has looked better in Carolina.
I'm not even like I can't even go there, man. I don't think he's anything.
Okay. All right.
I hope he proves me wrong, but no.
He looks way better. I'll just say he looks way better in Carolina than he ever did in a New York Jets uniform.
You seeing ghosts, Max?
I know. That was against one of the best defenses of all time. So we'll give him a little leeway there.
Yeah. That's right.
So guys, be on the lookout for Pick'em. That's coming probably in the next couple weeks. Yeah, I'm hyped for that too. That's it for NFL talk for us. Like we said, pick them in a couple weeks. Pumped for that. Even more pumped to be joined by our next guest, Owen Corry, Division I men's lacrosse player for NJIT. Joining the show, chops it up with us. So without further ado, Owen Corry, welcome to the show.
We are now happy to be joined by NJIT men's lacrosse player Owen Corry. Owen, thank you so much for coming on with us today, man.
All right, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So let's get right into the interview. So, going back to the beginning, tell me a little bit originally about what drove you to the sport. I know you started playing lacrosse at a young age. Tell me how you ended up falling in love with it.
Yeah, so my dad grew up in Long Island, which people know is like a hot spot for lacrosse. It's like a hotbed. So he actually started kind of later. So he started when he was a junior in high school, and then grew up, had kids, obviously, and then So I started playing. He got me into when I was in 3rd grade. We started doing clinics. At first, I didn't really like it. I don't like putting on the helmet, putting on the equipment. I thought it was like a pain to get all the equipment on, take off the helmet and all that. I just wanted to play soccer, which was just run around, you kick a ball and everything, easy. But then my dad made me stick with it. Really ended up liking it. And then soccer was always my favorite sport growing up. And then probably around 7th or 8th grade, I started to really like lacrosse more than soccer. And I was just like, hey, maybe I could do something in college with this. Didn't even know like the Division 1, Division 2, Division 3 was a thing. So I went into high school not really knowing a lot, and then here I am today.
Absolutely, man. So yeah, so high school, you saw a lot of success. You got to play in a few state championship games, and then I guess NJIT, came around. What made you choose that school and that team? Tell me a little bit about that process and what went into that decision for you.
Like the recruiting process.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about it, and then ultimately what ended up with you, choosing
Yeah,
NJIT.
so I committed to NJIT going into senior year. So it was July going to senior year, which is actually like pretty late for a Division 1 school because we had kids in my class. I think the first kid in my class committed spring of our 8th grade year, committed to UNC. It was a kid from around here actually. So that's overwhelming if you think about it. Like I see all these kids like freshman year, they're committed like UNC, Duke, like Virginia, like all these
Right.
like the Power 5 schools of lacrosse are all committing, and still I haven't even been reached out yet by any school. So that process is a little overwhelming. So to get into it, so you start off playing club. So that's where you're supposed to get like like your college looks and like maybe some high school looks too. Like coaches will come to your high school games. So I had some schools started reaching out pretty late, like junior year, had some Division 3 offers, and then NJIT came around after my junior season. They had seen a bunch of games. So Coach Johnson, who's the head coach, still the head coach there, who recruited me. He reached out one day, gave me a phone call. I didn't answer because I didn't know who it was. And he texted me. He's like, "This is Coach Johnson from NJIT. Do you have a second to talk on the phone?" So I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." So I called him back. He's like, "All right, we'd seen you like this past season, your junior year. We'd like to get you on a visit." So head down into Newark where NJIT is, and then get on a visit, get shown around campus, get shown like the athletic facility, and then as soon as I stepped foot on campus, like got shown around the campus with the coaches, like I knew like this is the place for me. Like I loved it. The facility was awesome. Like academics were great. Everything kind of just meshed into one for me. I really
Nice.
enjoyed it. So
That's
it
awesome.
only took. They're like, "All right, sit down with your parents, think about it." I told my parents and cried. I'm like, "I'm probably gonna go here." They're like, "All right, just sit on it for a week, just so you're not like don't seem like super anxious about it or anything. Just if you have any
Yeah.
last thoughts." And I was a week later. I called my coach and said, "I'd like to take you up on your offer for the spot on the team."
That's awesome, man. It has to be a good feeling, when you're there, you're just like, you get that feeling because not everybody gets that feeling where it's just like, this is it, this is where I want to be. A lot of people end up, are like, I'm not sure, but I'm going to take a chance here. It's good that you had that feeling. And going back to what you said before about how, I was talking with another guy. It's like how these kids are committing so early. I never really thought about that. Probably puts a little bit of pressure on you and a lot of other players to kind of like, even though you don't have to, but it's like, oh, well, am I doing something wrong? Is there something I need to be getting myself more involved with? It's interesting because like, you know, as an athlete in high school, you can't help sometimes but to compare yourself to other people because that's your competition. That's who you're being compared to by the coaches and the recruiters. So it's a very interesting process, and I definitely see how that can be like probably stressful and everything. But like, hey, it ended up working out for you really well, and like you're happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I consider myself pretty lucky because you see like so typically a recruiting class for lacrosse would be like 12 to 15 guys. So you see like all right, you're going into your sophomore year of high school, which is still relatively young in terms of like committing to like knowing where you want to go to school, right? So
Right.
you're a sophomore and you see like these schools, there's no spots open for recruiting. So they're done with recruiting. They're already recruiting the class like below you before you even committed to the school yet, which is kind of intimidating. But you just gotta head down, keep grinding. Just find that school that works for you.
Totally. So, talking a little bit about your time so far at NJIT, obviously your freshman year, COVID happened and you didn't get to play any games, correct?
Sure. We got 7 games in, which was like a
Okay.
little less than half a season. So
Okay.
yeah,
And then did you had a season last year as well, right?
yeah, a limited season. So we played 11 games.
Okay. So last year you were selected to the America East All Rookie Team, which is your conference, the America East, and obviously with COVID you get your extra year of eligibility, so you were considered on the rookie team. Tell me about your season and what it was like to be honored with being on the All Rookie Team. Just tell me, it's definitely a great accomplishment for you that you should really be proud of. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty proud. It's definitely cool to be like recognized with all those guys on like the other teams that you go up against and see like, oh, this guy's pretty good, and then you see like yourself on the same list as them, which is pretty cool. But so the season it's tough. Really, what was tough was the fall before the season because you're practicing. You have all these COVID regulations, and you don't even have a season. You don't have like a game to look forward to at the end of the week. So you practice 5 days a week in the fall, and then Saturday, Sunday you have off. But you still have to follow these regulations. You have to wear mask. I have to wear a mask like while I'm playing, which no one is used to. Like, granted, everybody's going through these times together, but it was just like it was weird to wear a mask on the field for a while. Didn't have access to the locker room for a bit, so we had to like lug our practice to and from like where I live to practice, and then go home. Usually we're allowed to like shower, like get clean in the locker room because we have showers there, but we had to go home, shower, do all this stuff. So that was tough. And then during the season, it was better because they started to figure out like COVID regulations, got like everything down to a science. So we were allowed to use the locker room for a little bit. And traveling was weird because we had a travel roster. So not everybody on the team would travel. So there only a certain amount of guys could be on the bus and all that. But overall, I'd say it was a good experience. Good to have like an actual season, actual like start and end to a season because last year we were cut short.
Right.
Didn't know it was our last game until a week after.
Yeah, which is crazy. So in terms of your performance on the field, obviously, as I just said, all rookie team. Tell me about, what you thought of your performance, what you thought you did well last year, and a little bit about how you've developed your game.
Yeah. So, let's see where to start. I was happy with my performance. I mean, I look back now and I think I could do better. Like I look back at film and stuff, I see like stuff that I can improve on and all that. So of course I'm always looking to get better. Always something wrong with your game you could fix. So I'm always looking to improve. But I was happy with just how like our whole team came together and was like kind of resilient together. We're first year in a conference, which is cool. So it's I was proud of not only myself but my team. Like we're playing in a really good conference. So 7 out of the 11 teams we played this year were ranked.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess if I had to say something that I'm most proud of myself for, it'd be like going up against these guys and scoring some goals and who are just like they're nationally ranked, like out of all the schools in Division One. So
Yeah.
pretty proud. Kind of kept my own.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I was reading about a little bit about the America East, really impressive conference, with you guys. You got Vermont, who's really good, UMBC, another both top 25 teams, which is really, that's great, for yourself to be like, I'm with these guys. And I totally feel that, NJIT currently sitting at 56 in the RPI national ranks, really, really impressive. Tell me about, what it took for you guys to get there since you've joined the group and, what you have to do this year to, keep growing, build on that and, keep shooting your way up those rankings.
Yeah, so it really all just starts with the mentality. You take every practice as a day to get better. Every practice is like one day you could get better like towards that game because once you're in the game, it's kind of cliche to say, but you practice how you play, or you play how you practice, right? So you're not going to get better in a game. You have to rely on what you've done in practice to like how you perform in a game. So that's one thing, and yeah.
Just looking to build on it, right? Just looking
Yeah,
to
just
build on that this year.
build every day.
Absolutely. So, in terms of personal goals, when you go into a season, previously, did you set any goals for yourself? You have any goals for yourself coming up this year? What are you looking to do?
So I wouldn't say it's like a set in stone goal, but I always look to do better, score more goals, have more assists, have a better mentality than I did the year previously.
Yeah.
So I'd say that would be a goal. Just be better than last year, because you have no excuse to do worse. You have more experience and all this. Like, you know what has to be done. I'd say so. Last year was, I guess, my first full year at like first full season, right? So I was still like iffy on things, like I didn't know. I had to get into a groove like that. I would have got into my freshman year if we had a full season. So I would have been that much more experienced. So I took last year as an experience year, and I'm going to build on that. And then this upcoming year, I'm going to see what I did wrong last year, fix it, and try to improve on a lot of aspects of my game.
No doubt. So, as I mentioned a little bit earlier with the COVID and everything, as you're saying, the shortened season, you technically you do have an extra year of eligibility. Do you think maybe down the road that's something you'd ever think about exploring?
Yeah, no, I definitely want to take advantage of it. Play
Yeah.
lacrosse for another year, and then get maybe like an MBA or some kind of master's degree down
Right,
the
because we've
road.
already seen a lot of the kids who were seniors last year, all across college athletics come back for that extra year to get another degree, and it's definitely something that I think a lot of college kids can use to their advantage in terms of getting get one last go in a full season with the boys and the women that they're playing with, and then also just kind of like take advantage of the academic aspect.
Yeah, exactly. It's one thing that you miss that is like being around the guys all the time. Like even in the summer, you miss it. Like you miss like seeing your friends every day. Your friends are the guys on the team, so you miss like the camaraderie of being together all the time. And I think that's like a case for all these guys who like continue to come back, take their fifth years. Like they don't want to leave their teammates. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So, I've talked about it a bit with some of the other lacrosse guys I've had on the show. Lacrosse is not the most mainstream sport out there. You turn on ESPN, sometimes you'll see college lacrosse on there, but in terms of the professional league, it's not, doesn't have the most attention on it and flies under the radar, but it is a great sport. Tell me, a little bit of why you might think that is and why it deserves, that mainstream attention.
Yeah. Well, lacrosse it's said to be like the fastest game on 2 feet. So I think it's really fast paced. It's like if you were to combine like hockey, football, soccer, basketball, it's got all kind of like the same schemes, and you put it together, and it's lacrosse, which is awesome. It's awesome to watch. I just think it needs some more recognition for people to start watching it. So people have to learn about it in order to understand it. It's like one of those things like you put someone from Europe who all they do is grow up watching soccer, and then you put them in an American football game. They have no idea what's going on, which I think is kind of the case for people watching lacrosse. They see like they can barely follow the ball on TV. They lose track of things. They're like, who has the ball? Like, what's going on? Like, how do you score? So I think if people just learned about lacrosse, if it was just like in the mainstream, people were like, it's got like enough exposure, people would understand it. It's not too hard to understand.
Right.
So I think if that happened, lacrosse could blow up. And they say lacrosse is like the fastest growing sport. So more people are starting to play, and it's starting to get some recognition, which is awesome.
Definitely. In terms of like the pro league, the PLL, I believe it is,
Yeah.
a lot of these guys who are playing the PLL, there is money in it, but it's not like a lot of these guys work second jobs as well, which is crazy. What do you like? I've always thought about it and I'm not sure. How do you get more money put into like to develop the professional lacrosse? Like, first of all, is that something you'd ever like, is that like a goal of yours to play professional lacrosse, or like, you think you just like would want to play college lacrosse?
I mean, I'd love to play professional lacrosse. I haven't given it much thought because I
Yeah,
don't know.
you're still
I'm
young,
just
of
focus on like
course.
next year
Yeah,
college lacrosse.
yeah,
But yeah, it'd be something I'd love to do. But yeah, I think it's tough because it's not super lucrative right now, because all these guys they're playing professional sport, but it's really just part time, because all them like most of them have like second jobs, like unless you're like a big name in lacrosse and you get these sponsorships, where that's where most of the money's coming from, are these sponsorships. So you got like the gear sponsorships, you got like Gatorade, like you got the brand deals like Nike, Adidas,
hmm
and that's how like a bunch of these guys make their money right now, is from like
yeah,
different brand deals that they have.
yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting to see, in the future, the steps that they take to try to, blow this thing up and get some more eyes on it.
Yeah, I really hope it gets the exposure it deserves, because cross is an awesome sport. It's very exciting. It's like I think it should be there.
Yeah, totally. So, this recently any college athlete that wants to, with the new name, image, and likeness rules, can, really do anything they want to. You can run camps, clinics, sell merchandise, sign up and partner with brands and stuff. Have you put into thought anything you want to do with that, or maybe just like run a camp for kids or something like that? Anything? Have you put any thought into it, or you haven't really considered it much?
I haven't considered it too much. Like you said, like a camp would be cool. Like to say, like, hey, come work out with me or whatever. Like I'll teach you a few things. That'd be cool.
Right.
Definitely could use the money doing that. And I don't know. I haven't really reached out to brands. Like I've seen like some people in like the lacrosse world, they actually get like different sponsorships from like within the lacrosse like community. So it'd be like
That's
a
cool.
gear sponsorship. Like you have a gear sponsorship in college. Which
Yeah.
would be just like
and they're sending you free stuff and stuff
yeah,
like that, which is
you get
cool.
a ton of free stuff on top of the stuff you get in school, which is just awesome.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've been thinking about reaching out. Definitely should. Definitely,
Yeah.
like, what's the worst that could happen? They say no, right? So
Yeah, exactly. Put yourself out there. That would be cool.
no, I think it's awesome that college athletes get to do this now.
Hell yeah.
Definitely well deserved, right?
100%. Yeah, no, because I was thinking, like, especially, in with the youth, lacrosse is pretty big these days. So I feel like in like hometowns and stuff like that, like running lacrosse camps and like college athletes coming home, like even like D3, D2, D1, anybody that you could just like put out a flyer on Facebook and like maybe kids will sign up. Like I feel like that would be cool,
Yeah, because as a kid, you always have that like one guy you look up to, and like whatever sport you play, like I'm sure you did too. You always look up to that one guy.
100%.
You like look him up on YouTube, like look him up, like see what he does, and like try to mimic that. So if you could be that guy and like kind of make some money off of it, why not?
Exactly. That's no doubt. You get it. We like to ask everybody that comes on our show some advice for a younger player who wants to be in the spot that you are. So in your case, it'd be, a middle school, let's say like a middle school, high school kid who wants to go D1 and play lacrosse. What's something you wish that somebody told you back when you were younger about Division I sports and chasing, that goal?
I wish someone told me just to reach out. You have to put your name out there. You have to be like really active. So like just constantly send coaches emails like once a week. Like just get your name out there. So they're forced to take a look at you, forced to look you up. And then hey, like some coaches they see they haven't been able to see you in person, so they don't necessarily know like how your game is like in person, because like you send them a highlight tape, and the highlight tape is obviously it's just your good plays. So they don't know how you react after a bad play, which is a big thing. So if you're just reach out, maybe they'll take chances on guys who just constantly reach out. Like, all right, let's get this guy to stop bugging me. Like, I'll take a chance. Like, how about you come for a visit or whatever?
I like that answer. I like that answer a lot, because a lot of people that we ask have actually we've never gotten that answer before. So yeah. I think that's awesome, because a lot of people say similar things. So I think that's a good one, because and that doesn't even just go for sports. Just like to say, like even in like life, just like nothing bad can come from putting yourself out. Like if you're going for a job, if you're going for anything, you know what I mean? Like putting yourself out there is the way. So I like that.
Obviously, like you have to put the hard work in. Like, of course, it's like that's like a given, right? Like you have to put the hard work in if you want to play Division I sport. You want to like get a high paying job, so you want to like get good grades, get like do your work on the field, and then you want to like berate the coaches with emails, berate your employer, like future employer, with emails. Just put your name out there, so they're forced to like see your name. Like, who is this guy?
Exactly. Make them interested, right?
Yeah. Pique their
Absolutely.
interest. Like, why is he reaching out to me so much? He must really want to come here.
Yeah, no doubt. Oh, and listen, this was a lot of fun. It's been a pleasure having you on the podcast. Really enjoyed getting to sit down with you and catch up. Thanks so much for coming on, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
And we're back from the interview with Owen Corry. Absolute shout out to Owen. Fire interview.
Stud.
Yeah, kid's a beast. And
thank you, Owen.
Gonna do big things on the field.
And off the field, seems like.
And off the field. Yeah, no, 100%.
Good head on his shoulders for sure.
Absolutely. Love Owen out here at a Washed Up Sports podcast.
Absolutely.
So hitting the baseball diamond, running the bases, right,
Let's
Max?
run some bases, Ev.
So let's talk a little bit about the Mets. So they've looked okay lately, hitting a little better. They get Lindor back today. Baez came back. So we got 3 games against San Fran, absolutely colossal. And, the Yankees beat up the Braves on Monday, which is really big for the Mets. So they got to, try to take 2 or 3 against San Fran. But then after that, Max, 13
games between the Mets with the Nats and the Marlins. So if they're gonna do this thing and try to make their way back and to win this division, now's the time, because that National League wild card is just like
it's closing up.
It's so locked up between the Dodgers / whatever other team. Then like the Padres are like very close
or
to
the Reds.
The Reds are right now hold the spot, I believe. So I'm all in on the Reds, as we've been talking about. You and I are on the Reds train.
Oh my God, Joey Votto is a god.
Love him.
God,
everyone on that team. Such a big Castellanos guy too.
Oh and those two batting after each other is electric, dude. Like it's such a tandem.
Yeah, I love it. There's always been guys too on the Reds that I just like have always like enjoyed watching. Just like I used to like play video games with like some of those players that I really liked. Like I remember one year my third baseman / shortstop was Eugenio Suarez. Love that guy. He's been playing a big role, so I'm excited to see what the Reds can put together, especially with the bullpen and that pitching over there. But anyway, back to the Mets. They got to do it now,
dude. Hold on, yeah, they got to do it now. And we didn't even mention Jacob deGrom might be out for the rest of the fucking year. He's
out.
He is. That came out.
Yeah, he's not.
Sorry, I'm not as up to date as Evan is. I'm sorry, guys. I am. Yeah. But yeah, deGrom out for the whole year. It's a big blow, honestly.
It's huge. Yeah. No, he was gonna win MVP. He was gonna win MVP. If he never got hurt,
and Cy Young, like possibly and Cy Young.
Obviously, no. Cy Young was a lock. MVP was like.
Well, the White Sox are in the NL, correct?
AL.
Oh, never mind. I was gonna say because Lance Lynn is having a fucking year.
Yeah, no, he is having.
He's having a year. So ignore me. deGrom was a shoo-in for Cy Young and probably NL MVP. So it's a big blow to the Mets, big blow to deGrom too. You want to be able to see him finish a season and get one of those Cy Youngs again, I feel like he gets so
best
much
pitcher in the game
around the league. Yeah, everybody loves him. Even non-Mets fans love deGrom, unless they're playing.
You're right about that.
Unless you're facing them,
Yeah. So moving into the American League wild card race right now, the Yankees and the Red Sox hold the 2 wild card spots. What the Yankees have done in this second half, I'm just gonna say it's been nothing less than just like impressive.
It's remarkable. They look like a completely different team.
Yeah.
Completely different team, completely set of completely different lineup, and it's not really.
The Red Sox and them literally. The Red Sox and them literally just traded places from the first.
That's what we said. I don't think we said it on last week's episode, but I think when we finished recording, we were like, I think they literally just changed places. And it's been ridiculous, dude. Like you went to the game last week and I remember texting you were so pissed. And I was so pissed. And it was just like, why? How do you look so bad after so many months of just dominating the entire league?
I know.
And the answer is that's fucking baseball.
Yeah,
that's the only logical answer.
That's an 162 game roller coaster for you.
Exactly. That's the only logical thing I can come up with that actually makes sense in my head as to why the Red Sox stopped winning.
Yeah, got to finish out strong. But let's just talk about if the Yankees don't catch the Rays and that's the wild card game, Yankees Sox, how intense that would be. I think, we were talking earlier, Chris Sale / Evaldi, because Evaldi's been good against the Yankees.
Yeah.
And then would be great. And then,
the Yankees starting
Garrett Cole. Yeah. So that'd just be a game for the ages. So the intensity would be crazy. So I would love to see that, honestly, from an entertainment must-watch TV standpoint.
Yeah. I hate to be the Debbie Downer here, but at this point, if the Red Sox played the Yankees in a wild card game, I don't think the fucking Red Sox have a chance.
No.
If they played tomorrow. I think
in a one-game playoff, anything can happen.
Absolutely. I'm just saying, if they lined up tomorrow and played the wild card game, I think the Red Sox would get out-hit, outrun, and that's
what's
sad,
been happening.
But I'm sad.
I know. Still a little time. We're in a playoff spot right now. Let's just try to make it. Let's make.
You're right.
Let's make it and try to work some magic. Let's keep our heads up. Come on.
Yeah, let's work some magic like we did in previous
For God's sake, the boys hit a walk-off grand slam yesterday.
You're right. They did.
So
they fucking did.
There's some intensity right there. We need it,
Let's go.
But absolutely, and around the league, Astros, I want to talk about them because they were a really dominant team first half. Right now, only 3.5 above the Athletics, who are right next to the Red Sox in the wild card race. So, and then 5.5 above the Mariners, who were really bad in the first half and now have been really good. Let's see if any of those teams could stay hot for a bit and try to catch the Astros. That would be exciting.
That would be sick.
That
would be sick.
Everyone's least favorite team, the Houston Astros.
Yeah, fuck the Astros, always.
Yeah. Fuck Altuve, all of it, Yeah. Give me all that.
Yeah. Give me all that smoke.
But I kind of want to talk about, like, with the Mariners. I thought that trade, they had a very controversial trade at the deadline. They traded Kendall Graveman, just an absolute lockdown closers, to the Astros, their division rival, for Abraham Toro, who's a great player, does a lot of things right, but people were really upset to see a great closer in Graveman leave because, a great closer only comes around so often. But I'm a big Abraham Toro guy as well, and I think I don't think that trade was as bad for the Mariners as people made it out to be. I think it was honestly an even trade for the Astros going for a closer who to help them make a run, and then Abraham Toro, a guy that is very young and could do a lot of things in the future over in Seattle. So I just wanted to bring that up and kind of break that down.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's a good analysis, Evan.
Yeah. Thank you.
I always appreciate your baseball analyses. If you want to hear more of it, tune in to Up and In coming this fall. Shameless plug. Always.
Shameless plug. Always. Let's go. So, this is the last week without college football. College football this weekend. Very excited for that. We have one of our new programs coming up, which is Tyler's Tailgate Talk, hosted by Tyler Manns, all college sports, college football, college basketball, solo hosting that shit. Nobody knows more in the game than Tyler about
Manns.
College sports, the Alabama guy himself. So speaking of them, the number one pre-ranked team in the country, no surprise. The champs, defending
Crimson
champs.
Tide.
So tune into Tyler's Tailgate Talk coming soon.
I have a date for the episode if you would like.
Okay, I would drop that.
Yeah. So episode 1 of Tyler's Tailgate Talk is coming. I don't have the exact date. I'm sorry. I just said I did, but I don't. It's coming Friday or Saturday this week. Okay. We don't know which day yet. It's either Friday or Saturday.
So that's going to be like 1 day after you guys, 1 to 2 days after you guys all hear this.
Yeah, dude. You got two podcasts this week. Like, enjoy it. Enjoy
Washed Up Sports Podcast is becoming a brand. Global. I'm just saying, man.
When you said that, it just made me think of like prestige worldwide.
We're doing it, man. We're here, expanding, and it's just a lot of fun. So great time to put your marbles in our basket.
Oh my God, Ev.
I'm just firing away with these little comments right here. I don't know.
Yeah, you're on fire, kid.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe pretty cringy stuff.
Yeah, it's all right.
I wanted to throw it out there.
We're the home of cringe.
Yeah, sort of. So a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Not proud of it.
No, not proud. It's just part of us.
But maybe I am. Anyways, so yeah, Tyler's Tailgate Talk for all your college football needs this season. On every platform.
YouTube. It's going to be on our YouTube page, and it's going to have its own Spotify, Apple, all of that. So be on the lookout for that. Follow it on Instagram. We're going to link all of the new shows, including Tyler's Tailgate Talk, including Up and In Podcast, including Chirps and Shell. All of them linked below. Check them all out. Follow, subscribe. You know what you got to do. Got some great stuff coming for you guys. Really excited for it. Thank you for listening this week. It's been fun. It's been new, as we said. It's going to be a little bit of an adjustment, but we're here. We're live. We recorded it. It's done. Appreciate you all. Ev,
follow the Instagram, else to YouTube.
There you go.
Consider subscribing on Patreon for a measly $2 a month. Exclusive content, exclusive videos, early shows, ad free, all that amazing stuff that you all know.
And love.
Check out the merch, check out the Twitter, check out the TikTok, check out the Instagram, check out the Twitter, check out the TikTok, check out the Instagram.
Check out everything, guys. All will be linked below.
Argue with me in the DMs.
I love when you guys argue with Evan in the DMs. Keep it up.
But yeah, and
answer our polls on Instagram. Like, we're gonna do questions. So, like, answer those so we can answer your questions on the show again, because that's always fun. I want to do like answering questions soon.
Yeah, we'll throw those back up next week.
And keep tuning into Wash the Sweats podcast, Terps and Shell up and in Tyler's Tailgate Talk, which is coming this week. Triple T.
Triple
so
T.
that's a big one. Tune into Triple T this week.
That's a lot of T's. That's a lot of T's. Tune into Triple T this week.
Yeah. So, guys, always a pleasure. Happy to be back from our virtual setting, and we'll see you next week for 38.
Absolutely. Ev, it was great seeing you again, man.
Yeah, I'll see you soon, Max.
See you next week. Man.
Hey, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out the rest of our channel and subscribe. Make sure to follow our Instagram and maybe consider subscribing on Patreon for our bonus content. You can only find it there. I promise it will be well worth it. Thanks.